Buongiorno, good morning. We are Sara, Daniel, Sophie, and Joy. We are a happy, sustainable family. We created this channel for inspiring people to live a more happy and conscious life. This video is about traveling with kids, and in our case especially we decided to do a camper or RV holiday. So doing a holiday with RV is a different kind of experience, especially with the kids. It's a super nice holiday, but here we will give you some tips and we will tell you about the holidays we did. First of all, why we decided to do a camper or RV holiday. So we had the nice opportunity given by a very good friend that he owned an RV, a camper. And so he told us many times, hey guys, if you want, I really am willing to give you the RV. And this was, in our case, the main reason we decided to go for it. It is not our main holiday of this year, so we were also on a budget way. So in this way, it was a way to have a very nice holiday in a budget way and in an alternative way, we think, and to test if this kind of holiday could be really a holiday for us. Another super advantage that we wanted freedom in our summer holiday. We really had to go to holiday because the school of Joy closed for 2 weeks, so the daycare closed for 2 weeks. Sophie, the other kid, which is in the kindergarten, was also closed, so we were without anyone caring for them. So we decided, okay, it's 2 weeks, we can decide for a holiday. So we didn't want many stress in the organization of that, and so the RV camper holiday was super for freedom, for budget reason only in our case, because we would like to do also another video where we explain you the cost of this holiday, and also for the way of living, so for this free way of living. The bit disadvantages, you have to get used to this kind of life because it's really a life that not everybody, in my opinion, can make. It's not a holiday with family that everybody can make. So think about also this kind of way when you decide to go for an RV holiday. In our case, we didn't have water because it got broken after a while. You have to do usually long trips. That is not always the case, but usually you do long trips with the RV. So also that is a point. If you go especially in high season, there are many cars on the road. And so these are the points you have to think about when you decide for a holiday like that. We are based in Bolzano, which is the northern part of Italy in the heart of the Dolomite Mountains. So we decided to go to the western part of France, and from the western part, so the mid in the west, to go down till Biarritz, till San Sebastian. Originally we wanted to reach Bilbao and Santander, which at the end we couldn't reach. So at the departure, I thought we could do like 3 or 4 steps reaching there, because it's around 1,200, 1,300 kilometers trip. And but the weather was against this decision. It was raining the whole time, and therefore stopping by in many places which could be even super nice on the way. There would have been Lourdes, there would have been Zurich, there would have been many stops in the middle which were quite attractive to me. But stopping there and having only rains with the kids in the RV the whole day would not have been a super decision. So after the first stop, we stopped here actually in the region in Malles, in Valvenosta, because a friend of us was there on holiday. So we had the first night with them. After that, I decided to wake up very early at 2 or 3 a.m. to take the RV and make a long trip as far as I could go. The kids were sleeping in the meantime, so that was a big advantage. When you travel, they can sleep either in the seats or in the back. It's not legal to have them sleeping in the back, but many times they did, I have to say it. and you have to be very careful in the driving. So I did this very super long trip. They were sleeping quite a lot, so that was a big advantage. And we arrived until Bordeaux, which was really a long trip. We traveled basically, I traveled the whole night. I made a stop for breakfast. I had a little sleep. Then we traveled again. We had a stop for lunch. I did again a little sleep. So these power naps are super important. Even if you feel tired, go out, don't make the hero. Sleep for 15 minutes, even 10 minutes. It changes the life. It is life-changing. These power naps during such long trips. The kids were super during the trip. They painted. They were happy to be on holiday. It was a real surprise because usually the long trips can be really, really hard. You probably know it if you have kids. Arriving to Bordeaux, we arrived there around 4 or 5 p.m. We found on the app Park for Night a very nice camping which has electricity, showers and everything, so we could spend there the late afternoon and the evening to get some rest, to get something to do, to the kids to play a bit with their bike, and it was amazing to stay there. We had a super nice dinner there with the neighbors. We changed a bit itineraries of the trip, which was super nice, and the destination the day after would have been the Dunes de Pilat, which is like in the midwestern part of France. So the original plan for us was to stay in quite some campings and combine the campings with free camping and sometimes with parking. What are the three things? So the campings have everything for kids. They have swimming pools, they have playgrounds, usually they're also quite good located to the places you want to visit. And in Pilat, in the Dunes de Pilat, there were 3 campings. We arrived there even not too late because we decided to stay in that camping next to Bordeaux in the morning and also to have lunch there because really to get me to some rest. And we arrived there at the Dunes de Pilat around 4 p.m. We went to the 3 campings. They were all fully booked, but really fully booked with queues. And in that moment I understood, okay, high season, the campings will be very, very difficult. On the app we found a very nice parking, although many people in the comment wrote that that it's legal during the day staying there till midnight, but from midnight till 6 it's forbidden to park. And then sometimes the police would come and kick you out of the parking. We didn't have alternatives because there was nothing free and we really wanted to stay that place. So we went to this amazing place. It was called the Petite Nice parking. And in the Petite Nice parking, the parking is really next to the ocean. Amazing spot, and there is even water supply, so there are toilets and water supply, which for us was very important because, as I mentioned before, our water got broken at the beginning of the trip, so we didn't have fresh water in the camper. We couldn't shower in the camper. We could go to the toilet, but we had to do it always with the water tank we had with us. So we found this parking, we found nice neighbors, and we had 3 amazing days there. Before starting the 3rd night, the police came and said, okay, you cannot stay here. We know everything is quite fully booked, but you have to find a solution. So we knew, okay, this is the time to leave. And while we left, we went to another parking spot which was on the way between these Dunes de Pilat and our next stop, which would have been Biarritz. Another super important tip I would give you is to bring the bikes with you, because these campings and even parking spots or free parkings usually are never in the places you want to visit. They're always around 4, 5, 10 kilometers from the hotspots. So, and you, of course, you would like to see the hotspots where you're going. So in this case, the Dunes de Pilat. From Le Petit Nice to the Dunes de Pilat were around 4 kilometers. So the bikes were life-changing. We had a bike with a seat for Joy in front and a seat for Sophie in the back. And we had my bike, the second bike. So the bike for the kids was an e-bike. So it was quite comfortable even to travel. And my bike was a normal. That was quite life-changing. Plus, never forget the toys for the kids, because you will need them. You will need them in the parking spaces. You will need them at the beach. Never. Make a nice set. They're nice, sustainable sets for the kids, and bring them always with you. The day after, there was 2-hour trips to Biarritz. I departed also quite early, around 6, so I knew they were going to sleep till 8 or 9 a.m. And so I departed there. We were there around 9 a.m. We tried out the camping also there. It was, of course, fully booked. So I had option B already. Make always 3 or 4 options when you're going to visit a city, especially in high season, because maybe also you don't like the first option so much, so you're free to change. That's really the freedom I was speaking about when you decide for a holiday like that. And in the spot number 2, in the option number 2, it was a parking really next to Biarritz, and the parking was on the beach. The cost was of €11 per night, so not that much. Was amazing spot. We loved it. We were super lucky with the neighbors. Again, they were kids, so I always put an eye when I was going to park and there were more spots available, which camper van could have also kids next to it, or could have a similar minded people like us who had similar interests and also kids with them. So we are super lucky, these nice kids with 2 kids also. It was an Italian family. We say hi to them, Surf Palermo, and they had 2 kids. And we had a super time with them. And the kids connected. And the Biarritz city was super. We had this problem with the water, but we showered usually either with the water tanks, or we had another option. We went to the public swimming pool of Biarritz. We paid €3 for each one, and we had a nice swim in the swimming pool and also a nice shower. So we could solve that problem like this. After that, the kids wanted to stay a bit more, but we really wanted to see San Sebastian, and we didn't have so much time. We had only 2 weeks of holiday. So we said bye to this nice family, and we went to San Sebastian. And it was a super tip, because first we had a night in the middle where we went to an RV parking where they at least had electricity for charging the electricity, for having a nice shower, for washing also. There was a washing machine in that camping spot, which in the parkings there is usually nothing. So there is not even electricity. Usually they have fresh water and at least that, but there is not much usually in the parkings. Then on the app you can see whatever the parking has. Also in San Sebastian, there are no campings in the center, but there was this parking, which was super popular though. They said, okay, if you want to have a chance, arrive there in the morning. They wrote it as a comment. And so I arrived there around 8:30 a.m. because I knew there people were leaving, and in fact people were leaving and I entered immediately. Already at 10 a.m. there was a queue of 30-40 and the spot has only 40 places, so imagine. This place was super because it was around 3 kilometers from the city center, so again by bike we could reach very easily the center. And the city, San Sebastian, is simply amazing. The weather, we decided also for this destination because the weather was always quite cool, around 25 the max and 18-19 degrees the lower temperature. So it was super comfortable. And imagine in the camper van it can get really hot. Most of them do not have air condition. That is very important to mention. So if you go to Southern Europe and you have 40-45 degrees and at night you have around 30 and the kids will go to sleep over you will have like a sauna every night. So we decided to go also there for that reason, because the south having so hot weather is not always ideal for the families. San Sebastian, again, amazing. We had 3 amazing nights there and 3 amazing days, or even 4, sorry. And there are white sand beaches in the center. The center is full of cultural opportunities. The center is, of course, there is the Spanish mentality of party and of fiesta. It's full of life, and really in this period especially, there were fireworks every night. people really happy and enjoying themselves. There were everything, even for the kids, they did activities. I could say one of Europe's best city to visit. The Concha is the beach where there are more the families, where it's more quiet, while the other beach is the beach of the surfers. We went especially to that because we have this passion for surfing. Sarah is very good in it, so we went especially there, and the kids also enjoyed because they enjoyed the waves, they enjoyed the beach. It was simply super. I would simply suggest San Sebastian. After that, the plan was still to go to Bilbao or Santander. We couldn't obviously do it because we had only the 2 weeks. So it was going to be my holiday on the going back. So I decided to stop in Monaco. So San Sebastian to Monaco is quite a long trip. We departed again at 3 a.m. so that the kids could sleep. And in fact, it was super. They even slept till 11 a.m. that we arrived. It never happened. But of course, in Spain, they had really a Spanish kids nightlife, so they went to bed really, really late. Also there we were lucky in San Sebastian to have super neighbors of kids, and so happy kids, happy life. Like this I should call the video in holidays. If the kids are happy, you will have a good holiday. You have to adapt anyways. Monaco, we decided to stop there and not in the other places like Nice or Saint-Tropez, because I was there when I was a young kid with my family, still with my father, who is not here anymore. So I had nice memories of that place, and I wanted to see it again also for having these memories of my childhood. And it's actually a super nice city. I knew there were no campings also there, but there was a super nice parking at the harbor directly for RVs. There were only 10-15 campers because it's not a city super visited by camping families. And also there we were super lucky to have the bike. We visited the whole city, and at night I booked a super nice restaurant at the beach where we had also the time of our lives. There were a lot of kids, so even the kids could enjoy. There was music. It was super birthday. At the day after, last day, we departed again quite early. It was still 600-kilometer trip from Monaco to our city, so it was good. It was good. We arrived home around 12. And we really enjoyed this holiday. Summarizing the tips I would give you about such a trip with family are, first of all, the bikes were super important. The bikes saved the life of us adults because we could like this go really to the city centers and move. You're not so free with the kids, so you have the kids, in our cases, they're 2 and 5 years. So, okay, you can go by public transport, but you cannot get late. So having the bikes, you have the freedom, this freedom you're looking for probably when you're doing a holiday like that. And having the bikes was super important for us. Do not forget the toys for the kids. They're super important for them. That is tip number 2. Another super tip, take always a look at the camping spots where there could be families, or because they will connect immediately. The kids, they will connect with other kids, whatever nationality they are. They will connect, they will look for play, even if their characteristics of the kids are different. Kids amongst kids, they will have fun. So check out if the camping has some opportunities of having other kids and go there. The last but not least trip, do the longer trips at night if you're able. So you will avoid, especially in high season traffic, the kids probably are sleeping, so you have a lot of headache less. If you like this video, please push on the like buttons. Follow our channel. It was our first video. We will do contents like this about family life, about work life in family. We will focus on this family life, especially in our channel. And we want to do the next video about the costs of such a trip, because is it right that such a trip is more a budget trip, or is it not right? So follow the channel. Thank you very much for following till the end. Ciao, ciao.